Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Heisey again with another deck profile, updated deck profile. You guys have been asking this for a while. Half of you, I should say. My channel seems to be a little split on the deck choices. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy it. I really like that you guys like both decks that I play. Whether it's between the Runic deck or RDA, both are very fun to me. If I had a preference, I would choose the Runic one over the RDA, mainly because, the only reason because it's just funny to activate a Runic card, or yeah, just activate a Runic card and your opponent just goes, oh, okay, this is what we're doing today. That to me is just really funny. Just misery is just funny to me. But don't get me wrong, just because I like to play the Runic over RDA doesn't mean, RDA is trash. You already saw my thoughts on RDA. I love RDA. I love playing the deck. It's super fun. Nothing wrong with it whatsoever. I definitely suggest too, if you're just getting into Yu-Gi-Oh and you want a strong deck that's really not too hard. It's a little combo heavy and not combo heavy at the same time. It's an easy deck, honestly, if you ask me. Especially with practice too, you can get the deck down pretty easily. But yeah, let's just get into the deck profile here real quick. Nothing crazy has changed. The reason why I've been putting this off for a little bit too is just because I've been testing a lot. Just trying to find the sweet spot. Just because, for example, the last Unchained gameplay that you saw with this deck, I played 3 games that day. All of them were against Unchained. I won 2 out of 3. Unfortunately, I could only upload the 1 video because the other 2 videos, for some reason, my GoPro did not record any of it. I don't know how. If you guys watch any of my gameplays, you'll see sometimes like I'll literally take off my GoPro in the middle of the match just to make sure I'm still recording. And these situations I did. And then when I got home to edit, it was as if I never even hit record. So I don't know what happened. I think it had something to do with the voice commands because this is my 3rd take with this, trying to make this video. And every time I explained this story, my GoPro kept turning off or stopped recording. And that was the reason. So I'm assuming that at some point, somewhere in those matches, I said something about it and it just stopped recording. But let's get into it real quick. So like I said, not too much has changed. I think this one, in my opinion, is the most consistent. Just because I don't know what it was that week when I was playing this against the Unchained. Like I just couldn't, for the life of me, I couldn't get Canopic Protector, which is huge for this deck. I didn't see it a single time that week. Not even once. Don't know what happened. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It was a very awkward week. Like I said, I still won 2 out of the 3, but like all 3 of those games were a little grindy because one of the best cards in this deck, I couldn't see it. It was very frustrating. It's really annoying. Yeah, let's get into the deck real quick. Super standard when it comes down to the Runic stuff. You're gonna see what I added, and I'll explain. 2 Fountain. We all know what Fountain does. Not much to say there. Your super standard tips. 3 of those. This is a 41 card deck, by the way. Don't ask me why 41. It's not. There's no advantage to it. And to my opinion, people are just like, oh, 41. That one card's really gonna mess you up. Maybe. Sure. Who cares? It's 1 card. With this deck, with the amount of Runic cards that are in there, it's very hard to break. And I think now that with my little change, it's very hard to break now. I say that and watch me break. Runic Flashing Fire. Everyone knows what this does. Depending on the situation, if you're going first, there's probably not going to be anything on your opponent's side of the field to destroy. So about 9 times out of 10 in that situation, you're going to be special summoning. Other than that, if it's your turn, turn 2 or whatever, or they're going into their turn and they start, doing their little combos or whatever, pop that. Whatever the special summoning, pop it, because there's a reason why they want it out there. Next 3, and my favorite, because it's super funny, Slumber. 3 Slumber. Why is it super funny and why is it my favorite? Because it depends on the situation. When they go to activate an effect and, like, let's say they target one of my monsters to destroy it, basically, I can chain this to that same target and make sure it doesn't get destroyed. And then they forget that they'll, you know, that I activated this and it's okay. And then it frustrates them because now they have to do something else to try to get that card off the field or whatever. And they're going to be wasting cards pretty much, going through materials to basically just pop one monster. Other situations when they go into battle phase, same thing. Like if it's a big monster that they want to swing into and then it's going to be like for game or something like that, this is super funny to play because now they can't attack. Yeah, that's pretty much it for that. And it's a great miller, you know, great mills. Love banishing those cards. 3 freezing curses. Super simple. Negates. That's about it. Target negate, I should say. Turn 1, same thing. There's not going to be on anything on your opponent's side of the field to negate, so might as well use it to special summon. What I like to do in combo with this is I'll take the, let's say like the flashing fire. Let's say it's turn 2 and I'm playing against Unchained for an example, right? He's got a Caesar and a Barone. These are just, you know, imaginary. What I like to do if I have both these in my hand and like, you know, whatever else I got going on, hopefully another Runic card so I can special summon or, you know, Runic Fountain so I can do my thing. What I like to do is I'll, you know, if they have a Caesar and a Barone, like I said, I'll open up with flashing fire, target the Caesar. Barone, let's say, will try to negate it, and then that's when I'll chain this, negate the Barone, and guess what? Now you're going to be banishing 5. Really, really good for the mills. That's why I like to do with that. It's people like to say that this deck isn't combo heavy. Yeah, you're right. It's not combo. There's no comboing whatsoever. You're just playing cards, but like I can combo my spells to banish even more cards. You know, that's the thing. You know, there's a little bit of thought process with this. Stop hating on it. All right. Just because you think you're Jack Atlas or, you know, Jaden and whatnot, you're just going combo heavy. Don't knock on this. We got to think a little bit with these two, you know. You know, eventually, like, you get down to 1 card and I can't even use these anymore. Like, I got to think about that when I try to deck you out. Super hard, guys. Come on. Runic it's not easy. 3 Runic Destruction. Target the back row. What I like to do, especially like if they activate like Pot of Prosperity or something like that, something that's insignificant, or a searcher or whatever, I'll pop this because sometimes you end up banishing the card that they want to search for. There's been plenty of times where I do that with this card and it's hilarious. They end up just skipping that and going next turn. Sometimes they scoop just because of that. Sometimes they really rely on that search and then you end up banishing it and it's really funny. And then turn 1, obviously, there's nothing to target. Use it to special summon if you can. Who cares? Get it out there. There's nothing you can target, especially if you have 2 of them. Use the first one to special summon. Get rid of it. There's nothing you're going to target. Hold on to that. Then we're going to get into the one-ofs. This is where I made some changes. So I got the Dispelling, Smiting, Allure, and back to Runic Droplet. So these I've been playing with. You guys know that. These I added. I was playing with this and then I took it out and I'm putting it back in. Now here's why. I feel like I kept drawing King Sarcophagus too much because I was playing that at 3 and it's really frustrating when you end up opening with all 3 or even just 2. Let's say, and then you end up drawing the 3rd or whatever. Really, really annoying, and it's terrible. I mean, the card's good. You want King Sarcophagus, don't get me wrong, but you don't want all 3, and you don't want 2 of them at the same time. You know, like, if you can afford to grab the second one by, like, let's say if you open with 1 and then you open with an Mseti, sure, because you're going to draw another card using his effect, you know? You're going to go +2 with him. But the situations the other week where I was playing against the Unchained, it was killing me. I kept drawing all the cards that I didn't want. You know, I really needed like Canopic Protector, and because I wasn't getting it, it made the games even grindier, and it got tight a lot. It's really annoying. So yeah, I added these in here, just so one, I can mill even more, and that's really it. It's just for more milling, because there has been so many times where like I got this close to milling someone out or decking them out, and because I didn't have Canopic Protector, they ended up drawing the outs, and I lost. It's things that shouldn't happen that were happening, and it was terrible. So those are those. Now we're gonna get into the Horus part of the deck. So gotta play 3 of an Imseti Spaghetti. He's amazing. I know he's pricey. If you can afford him, especially afford 3 of them, grab it along with the rest of the core. Honestly, this core, in my opinion, is amazing. I think this archetype is amazing. I love it. There's so many variations and decks that you can just splash this in that it works so well with. Therion, Bestial, Runic, Tearlaments. This archetype is amazing, and I love it, and I hope it never goes away. This is an amazing archetype. By far my favorite. And we all know what he does. Something leaves the field, your side of the field, sent to grave. That's it. And then he searches for King Sark. Super, super good. Definitely pick him up if you can afford him. My boy Hoppy, playing him at 2. Still, I'm never changing that. This is the second best card. Honestly, I wouldn't even say he's second best. I'd put him same tier with Imseti Spaghetti, because he's amazing. The fact that you can target any cards in your graveyard or banish, whether they're face down or face up, doesn't matter. You just target them, add them back to your hand, shuffle them back into your deck. And the same thing with your opponent, especially like if they have a very heavy graveyard reliant deck. This will turn it off. Super, super good. Definitely play him at 2, not just 1, just because you're not the only person. If you're playing Runic, there's a good chance you're not the only person playing Runic, okay? God forbid you end up losing one of them. At least you got another one. You can, grab your cards from the banish and whatnot and just keep going. He's a very good card. Respect him. He's amazing. I don't know why, but a lot of people don't like him for some reason. They'll play him at 1, and that's a big mistake in my opinion. Here's the one else that you should do. He's great too. I would play him at 2nd, honestly, just because when you have a full board and they remove something on your field, if you got 6 monsters, you're drawing 6. That's nuts. All right? Absolutely nuts to have that many cards. The card advantage from this guy is amazing. Duatmatev is absolutely the best. Schoolboy Q, he's all right. All he does is basically, once anything leaves your side of the field, you just can't attack or target any of your Horus monsters for an attack, and you can't target them with effects. That's pretty much all he can do. He can be good, don't get me wrong. The very situational again. But he's not the best. Definitely the worst card out of all of them, in my opinion. So there's those. That's the only Horus monsters I run in this deck. Then we're going to go into the King Sarcophagus. I went from 3 to 2 on these. Again, I just kept seeing this card way too much the other week, and it was devastating when I keep drawing this instead of another Runic card that I could really use, or even, Canopic Protector. Just 2 of these. That's all you really need. Maybe even 1. Cut this from 41 to 40 just by removing one of these. Go for it. Let me know. Go for it. Let me know how it works out for you. I might plan on doing that. This isn't like a fully finished thing. I've been practice testing in a lot of different ways, and like so far, in my opinion, this has been the best. But yeah, just 2. That's it. 2 Canopic Protectors. We all know what that does. Send it to grave. On resolution of you setting it to grave, set it back onto your field, and then once per chain, you get to special summon a Horus monster from your graveyard or deck. Now, hopefully everything went the way you wanted to, and you have all of them into the graveyard, and you're going to make your opponent very angies when you just keep summoning and building a wall, and then when they go to pop something, hey, guess what? I have 6 cards in the field. I get to draw 6. I get to get a free Send to Grave. I get to grab those cards that you just popped and add them back to my hand. What have you? It's an amazing card. People will be sleeping on this. I see a lot of decks not adding this. I don't know why. Why are you doing that? This is amazing. Do you want to die? Because this stops you from dying. All right? Play that. What are you doing? Come on. And then the very small Blue Boy package. Very small. Just those 3. That's all. That's all you need. Very good. I like to start off with him sometimes, especially if the opponent doesn't know what I'm playing, just because more than likely I'm gonna get rid of that imperm that he has in his hand, that Ash, the Effect Veiler, whatever he's got going on. 9 times out of 10, he's gonna bait it out. Same thing with these cards too, especially like when you use his effect and you end up searching this and then you activate this to search that. 9 times out of 10, after you're done searching for this and then you activate this, they're gonna Ash this because they don't want you to get that. And then hopefully from there you can do, you have a Runic card and you don't have, let's say, Fountain, special summon, discard, add the Fountain, go from there. Because now you got rid of that Ash. Good for you. Continue on with your combo. So those. And then the only hand traps I play. Shout out to Cthulhu Realms. That's my boy. My birthday and birthday weekend. He knew that I was struggling. I was struggling hard because literally out of the rarity collection, out of all the cards, all I wanted were the Effect Veilers. In secret, to be specific. That's all I wanted because all I had were the commons. It could have been a rare and I would have been okay with it. This dude went to person and asked everybody for a secret rare. That's a good friend. Find you a friend like Cthulhu Realms. Also, go subscribe to him. He's got his own channel. I'm going to put it in the description below. Go show him some love because he feeds your boy. A lot of the cards that I have in my decks are because of him. And if it wasn't for him, my gameplays wouldn't probably be as entertaining, honestly. A lot of the cards that you see in my decks, they're from him. This would be one of them. And more. Plenty more. Here's the one-ofs. So we got the call by, the card scanner. Card scanner, I love. If you really use your brain, right? This is what I like to do. If I have hit, obviously call spells, add your spell, hopefully. And then hopefully your opponent doesn't have a spell and he ends up putting that card on top. Now, let's say, like we're playing against Unchained, you get to see, oh, you're putting Tour Guide on top of your deck. Cool. Activate Runic Tip. Get rid of it. That's what you want to use this for. You want to use that for, draw advantage on their turn. You want to see what they're going to draw. Hopefully, if it's a brick, leave it alone. Try to avoid banishing that card. Leave it alone. Pass. Do something. Don't activate anything else. Let them draw that brick and pass back to you, and then go from there. Start milling them out. Use your brain with this card. It's an amazing card. The possibilities with this is amazing. And then Scrub Braid. Scrub Braid with your Canopic Protector, you're never going to die. Never going to die. Amazing card. If you can afford it, get one. Get 2 if you could. I can only get the 1. Definitely play Scrub Braid. It's amazing. And that's it for the main deck. That's 41 cards. Now let's go into the extra deck. Some of these cards are not sleeved because I, in a pinch, unsleeved them for another deck. You guys might see that. Today's Friday. Tomorrow I got the locals going on, so you might see something different tomorrow. I'm still on the fence on what I'm playing. Well, let's just say that there's a Fire King structure deck tournament going on. So, thinking about what deck for the Fire King tournament I'm going to play. So super simple. 3 Hugin. Here's the, I'm sorry, I know. They're not sleeved. 3 Hugin, Just play 3 of her. She's amazing to get the fountains or even just to protect. That's it. Super simple. New guy added. Jerry. Play with Jerry. Jerry's good, especially if you can't get Hoppy onto the field. This is the one thing I was really struggling with. Like, people were destroying my Runic fountain, and because I couldn't get Hoppy onto the field, I couldn't add it back or get it back, and because I didn't play Jerry, I can't get it back in my hand. Play Jerry. That was one mistake I was making a lot. Don't make a mistake like I did. Play Jerry. He's great. And plus, if he goes to the graveyard, you get another free pop, you know? It's cool. It's cool. And then 3 Mugen. Because I'm playing Allure. You should definitely play Mugen. Use your effect to get that on there just to mill some more for you. And then obviously, you know, for time and all that stuff, gain 1,000. Super good. Sleipnir. Sleipnir, you know what he does? Main phase, target another monster, banish it, comes back. And that's on your turn. And then on your opponent's turn, if they go into battle phase, same thing. Target a monster, banish both until the end phase, go from there. Coach King for that burn, and there's more draw power. Everything in this deck is honestly mostly about draw power. I love drawing cards. You want to have a lot of cards in your hand. You want that card advantage over your opponent. Just makes things very difficult for them, and they sweat and overthink a lot more when you're sitting there holding 9 cards in your hand and it's turn 2 and they don't know what to do next. It makes them very nervous. All because of that card. Definitely play this card. He's a lot cheaper now, especially with the Fire King structure deck out. Get it. If you're playing with this deck, at least, get it. There's no reason not to. Draw those cards, baby. Number 23, Lancelot. I'm not going to lie, these cards, the cards you're about to see, I don't really play them. Like Lancelot, I don't play, because it's Runic. I'm not going to be attacking directly, unfortunately. But it's a good card. If you don't, you know, it's a good way to go into Zeus, depending on what they're playing. If you know what they're playing, you know. That's it. This card, I don't play it. It just sits there. A lot of these cards that have been in my extra deck, I don't use. But really, it's just number 62 and number 23. That's really it. They don't get used. Very rarely. There's no point. This card I love, though. Dingirsu. Again, thanks to Cthulhu Realms. Again, please go to his YouTube channel. Go sub to him. Look at this. Look at this. You got this for me. Isn't that fucking awesome? I mean, yeah, I gave him an Imsetti spaghetti and whatnot, but like, dude's fucking awesome. He knows what cards I was looking for. I also, you know, I saw that he pulled this, and I was like, can I have it? And he was just like, fuck yeah. Awesome guy. And he's also a little bit cancerous too. He plays Yumi Lock. So if you guys like watching toxic gameplay, since you're watching me, go watch him. He's funny. But yeah, he's a really, really cool dude. Good friend to have. Get a guy like him. He's fucking awesome. Hope Harbinger. Depending on what they're playing, this is a great deck, or a great card to play. Especially since you get to negate and then take that card. So if you're playing against a Brandon, it's even better if you negate it and then you take their Brandon Fusion, because now they can't use Retribution to get that back, and they're most likely going to pass their turn, depending on what kind of variation of the deck they're playing. And then Underworld Goddess, because you can get so many monsters out, especially if you have Protector. You can, you know, get off that that card that's untargetable and can't be sent to the graveyard, isn't affected by card effects, all that stuff. You can get it off the field with this, as long as you got your Protector and all your Horus monsters out there. Yeah, it's good. So that's that. That's the extra. And then I'm not gonna go too far into the side deck. I'm a firm believer in, it comes down to your locals when it comes down to side decking. You gotta go see, you gotta see what everyone's playing. Not everybody's local is the same. You know, ours is like kind of in the middle right now. It's a little competitive and a little, you know, non-competitive. It's a very half and half there. But I'll show you what I got going on. These came out like pretty good, especially against the Unchained. This is honestly all I cited in during that week playing against the Unchained. This won me both of those games, except for the third one. Summon Limit. The second game I ended up playing against, like, I won game 1. I think I lost game 2, and then we went into game 3, and then game 3, like, I opened up with one of these. I made a small board, passed, and then in standby phase, I flipped this, and he literally just shook my hand and walked away. Like, that was it. Like, this card's amazing, especially against Vanadium, Unchained, Branded. Maybe not so much Branded, because Branded you can, like, just get out Mirror Jade and you're fine. But this hurts a lot of decks. Hurts a lot of decks. Kills it. You can't make much of a board with just 2 summons, you know? Not too much there. Definitely, if you get your hands on summon limits, add that. The Bestials, 2 Duroswarm, and 1 Magnemite. Don't really use them much. All depends on who I'm playing against. But most of the time, I'm not really citing these in. And then 3 D-Barrier. Just because. That's it. And then you can add in whatever. This is when, it comes down generic stuff. The Evenly Match, MST, Cosmic Cyclone, 2 Lightning Storms, Feather Duster, whatever you want. Whatever you got going on in your locals, whatever everyone else is playing, just, like I said, cater to them. Try to beat their ass, Side against them. Hate side them. Whatever you want. Whatever you want to call it. Just do it. And the other cards, though, Summon Limit, D-Barrier, especially Summon Limit. Honestly, that's definitely a card that you should definitely be adding. Because, again, like I said, especially against Unchained, they're just going to shake your hand and walk away. Because they can't do much with just 2 summons. They need a lot more than that. But, yeah, that's it. Today's Friday as I'm recording this, and tomorrow is my local, so expect some gameplay soon. Probably going to play Fire Kings, not going to lie, just because I've been play testing with that a lot since the announcement and whatnot, and it's a fun deck. I think it's fun. I like it a lot. It's strong. It's definitely rogue tier for sure. And it's climbing to go into meta. It's getting there. But yeah, I definitely suggest it, especially my deck variant. Depending on how it goes, regardless, you guys are going to see another deck profile on that with Fire Kings. It's very budget. So far, I've taken it to 1 event, and that was last week because Saturday we did not have any locals. That's why you guys haven't seen any new gameplay, because the TO for my shop was at the regionals in New York for the Gamer's Choice thing that was going on over there. So couldn't have a tournament. That's why there was no gameplay on that. But that Sunday, the next day, I went to my other locals where they don't really allow recording. I took Fire Kings there, and I ended up getting a mirror match. And he was playing the more expensive version of the deck. Like, he had the Sinful Spoils package, and I ended up winning. I think it came down to deck knowledge the most, because he even admitted it himself too. Like, he didn't really know all the lines just yet. But yeah, it was still good. It was fun. It's fun to take a $60 version of a deck and beat a $300 version of it. But yeah, you guys will see. It's nothing crazy, nothing wild. It's something you've probably already seen already, but I'll give you my own version of it when the time comes. But yeah, that's the deck profile, guys. If you have any suggestions or questions, feel free to leave a comment. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, because you guys I think I'm at 97% now. I think I've dropped down like 1% from people who watch my videos to subscribe. So we're getting there. We're at 97%. Let's drop it 1 more. Let's get down to 96. This is a gradual thing. Time, right? That's what we do around here. Use time and whatnot. Anyway, guys, thank you, and have a good one. See ya.